Welcome back to Midco Sports Tonight. It's not every day we get to have a special guest in our studio, but this guy happens to be in Sioux Falls. That's University of South Dakota Athletic Director David Herbster. So Herbie, thanks for taking time to talk to us today.
Anytime.
All right, awesome. Well, let's get this going. So an exciting time right now for USD athletics. I mean, football, the big win over UND, and then volleyball they had some big wins over Rutgers, Air Force. Soccer starts conference play next week. Cross country's killing it. Golf, everything. So it's a really exciting time. But with all that excitement, what's been like the energy, the feel that you're getting on campus from fans, from alumni, stuff like that?
I think what we've really seen is an uptick in just the conversation. I think there's always been a great deal, alumni always have had a great deal of pride in the University of South Dakota, but when you can start to string together some of those victories, some of those games, some of those moments that through the course of the fall, not only from a conversation standpoint, but really from the pride in what it is that the university is doing. And certainly athletics can, as it sits as in many cases the front porch to the university, some people's only exposure to the university might be this vehicle. So it really has, I think, we've seen an uptick in not only attendance, whether it's hits on the website, whether it's ticket sales, all those things have increased all across the board.
Yeah, there's those numbers you can actually measure it by, but anyone who was at the Dome on Saturday saw it was rocking. We actually set a new viewership record at MidcoSN for that UND-USD football game, 28,500 households to watch this old NCC rivalry, but that's about to become a common thing with UND joining the Summit League next year, the Valley in 2020. So with them entering the conference, I mean, what's that going to mean for not only USD, but the league as a whole?
I think when we look at the Summit League, it really starts to even out some of the travel situations we have with various schools as far as being able to develop travel partners, North Dakota, North Dakota State, South Dakota, South Dakota State. But it brings a program that has an overall sport portfolio of success, and will be able to compete right away. And that's, if you're going to bring someone into your league, you want someone who's going to make you better. And North Dakota will make us better. And certainly, same in football. They've won national championships in football. They've been to the playoffs. They've been a Big Sky Conference champions. So they're going to actually come into the league and make us that much better, which in some cases, you're not bringing in a patsy, you're bringing in someone that can really compete. Yeah,
well, I mean, talking about that Dome attendance on Saturday, obviously a lot of red, but Grand Forks, they traveled well from there. So, I mean, you look at the Dakota Dome and you see it rocking like that, just under 10,000 people there, and we have the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. But what are kind of like some renovations, or what's the next step in renovating that dome to make it more of a football atmosphere?
Sure. You saw it when North Dakota brought their fans down. I mean, the rivalry means something. The distance and the proximity is easy to travel, plus it's a familiar opponent. But realizing that, and the next phase of what we need to do with the dome is increase its capacity. Now that the west side of the dome is basically vacant right now because of the basketball court and the volleyball court being eliminated, the West Gym, you know that very well. And certainly the weight room was up there as well. We have to repurpose all that space. So it'll be a process of adding locker rooms, meeting room space, offices, really just repurposing all that space. And eventually we will take the seating all the way up to the top and really increase the seating to the dome.
Very cool. Well, there's the Dome Club that's kind of part of the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. But talking about the Sanford Coyote Sports Center, I feel like we just opened it yesterday with that volleyball game against UND. But it's already been a year. I mean, over a year since people have been playing in it. Basketball season, volleyball season, all of that. So looking at that first year, I mean, how do you think it went from game day operations, from fan turnout, everything? How do you think that first year was?
You know, it was a learning process. I think anytime you build a new facility on paper, and in theory, you have an idea of how everything should function. Once you're in there and you're actually living it, there's some things that you might see and notice a little different. So the whole year was a learning curve for us, operationally, game-wise. We're still understanding some of the things that we can do in there. From an athlete perspective, I think it's been a game changer for us from our ability to provide and service our student athletes. From a recruiting standpoint, our coaches will always go back and say, you know, it's an unbelievable thing to showcase our facilities now. Well, they're going to downplay their own role in the whole recruiting process. Facilities in some cases used to be a detriment to us. Now it's an asset, and it doesn't hurt us, it only helps us, but our coaches are the ones that really sell it. So I look at what we can do in that facility and what it's already done for all of our athletes, and so when we look and turn our attention to the Dome and really complete our facility portfolio with the renovations there, we really will have everything that we need to be successful.
All those bells and whistles are nice. I think last year I saw on JC Bradley's Snapchat, she was sitting in the hot tub at the SC watching football on the big screen. I was like, wow, we did not have that at the Dome. All right, well, finally, our last question here. What do you think of our new studio? I mean, we have renovations too.
You did. Really nice. I haven't been up here since you've done it. I think I love the set, the lighting. I think red lighting would look better in here.
We can do that.
We can do that now. Thanks for doing it for me, though, by the way.
Oh, man.
No, it really looks well. I think, we've been with Midco since 2007 when we were just trying to cut our teeth on doing games in the Dome. And seeing from where it's come at that point in time till now, the partnership has been, as we've grown, I've watched Midco grow. As Midco has grown, we've been able to grow as well. So it's really been good.
All right, well, we love covering you guys, so thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, David Herbster, the athletic director for the University of South Dakota. When we come back, we'll hear from another athletic director. Tom Neiman sits in with SDSU's Justin Sell to talk all things Jackrabbit athletics. We'll be right back.